Welcome back from international break. A lot has been happening. There goes coming in for Erling Haaland. Bruno Fernandes scored a hat trick. Phil Foden came in with an assist. Eze with a goal. Saka with a goal. So many FPL assets have been there. We are ready for game week 12. I'm here with Arnold again. Arnold, welcome back on the show.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, to our viewers, this is Arnold. He's always here with tips here and there, which asset to bring in. Tips that don't work for him, but they work for you guys. The tips he gives you, the guy doesn't use them. You guys.
This game week, I'm going in front of you.
It's all right. We'll wait. You've always promised them, but things turn out to be in a different. They take a different toll. So, yeah, that's from him. But we'll see what he has for us today. And guys, it's game week 12. You haven't used that wild card. What are you keeping it for? You're not going to sell it to anyone. Come on, it's game week 12. We are going around game to bring you this news around game week 16. We are getting 5 transfers just because we shall have some players going for the African Cup of Nations. I know some fans will be having a breather from Brian Mbeumo. So, I mean, you think of Brian Mbeumo, Ahmad, I think is it? No. Semenyo, these Fulham boys,
Ndiaye.
Mbasi, Ndiaye. So many talents from that league that are going to.
It began with a small step, a loan to build a future, and savings for a rainy day. From a microfinance to a full-service bank, we've grown to serve you better. Empowering communities, supporting businesses, and safeguarding your future. Pride Bank. Your growth is our pride.
Be going to African Cup of Nations and we'll be lacking them. For real, we'll need them. We've always missed them whenever they get to go. So use that wild card, please. From this show, you're going to have the best assets that you need to fix in your team. If you've been piling up transfers, this is the time to use them, because when it gets game week 16, these transfers won't help you because you have the 5 transfers to actually take out all the African players that you've always had. Guys, we are going to stay with the same budget. Don't think they will add you more money. They won't, but they're giving you at least the transfers. So Mohamed Salah will be gone. So many talents. Yeah. So Arnold, now talking about African Cup of Nations coming ahead, I want you to take us through these teams that have got maybe some better fixtures. I think an easier fixture difficulty here. Yeah, look at Manchester City. Manchester City, when you look at it, has got Newcastle coming ahead. We've got Leeds. They've got I think Newcastle, Leeds, Fulham, and Sunderland. Where in FPL terms, we've seen Haaland perform against every team. So for him, it's no doubt. But what other assets can we bring in? Man City assets, depending on that those, because I don't think they have African players, do they? So if you actually bring in Man City players for them, they could actually take you longer in your team. But depending on the fixtures they have, they could actually perform so well for you. So Arnold, let's start with Man City assets.
So of course, with Man City, we have players that are there that now let me give an example of like Nico O'Reilly.
Yeah.
He has under a 2% ownership, so he's good for a differential. We have the likes of Czech.
His price is going way too high. I think
going,
now.
yeah,
it's 5.1.
It's increasing, but still it's a bit low compared to the others. We have the likes of Czeki, Ryan Czeki, and then we have the likes of Phil Foden, for those who
Phil Foden did well against I think did well for England.
Yes.
Maybe even before the break he had started picking up. So I think it's this time maybe he comes.
Yeah, because Man City has a good enough number of fixtures between 13 and 17, 19, because they at least, I think they are
like
going
we've
to
mentioned, Newcastle,
Yes,
Leeds.
Newcastle.
Against Leeds, you
Yes,
expect
yes,
we
exactly.
saw Yokeres trash
Brentford,
Leeds.
yes. So really, and on top of that, for people who have their triple captain, you can think of it in between there, more so like against Leeds. and what Haaland, you can think about.
I think the last time he played against him, he had a hat-trick. Yeah, the time when they were in the Premier League.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So really, I think another team that has very good fixtures is Liverpool. Liverpool has a good number of fixtures.
Yeah, true. Even Liverpool has got a number
they have
of
a
good
bit of
fixtures
Wolves there.
Wolves has not been performing so well this season to
an
extent that everyone now wants to play against them. But talking about Liverpool, they've got good fixtures coming ahead. True. They've got Nottingham Forest, but they're good but tricky. They've got Nottingham Forest, Sunderland, and West Ham. Now, for me, why am I saying this? And you can help me on this, because you look at Nottingham Forest, they want to perform. They've just got Sean Dyche. You saw him again. You saw him against Man United. He's not going to take that team into relegation. He's going to actually take them out. You see, they've got another player. No, they've got another team there in Sunderland that they face. You can't. Now, Sunderland is not easy anymore. You get it? It's not until they start losing games. That's when it will be like you can actually call it a fair fixture. Yeah. Then they have got West Ham, of which even West Ham is doing so well after getting, is it Nuno? Yeah. So I feel like these fixtures, they might look easy but tricky. Yeah. But well, maybe it's that time.
But remember, for us, what we are looking for is not a team win. What we are looking for are returns. You understand? So even if Nottingham Forest may be tricky, even if whatever is tricky, if you have an asset, as long as he has an assist, if he's an attacker, if he's a defender, what you're looking for is...
What's in that for those clean sheets? Because these are teams that actually attack, that want to get something from the game. You get it? When you face, it's not easy to keep clean sheets against Nottingham, Sunderland, even West Ham when they're under Nuno Santos. So for me, I don't think, well, in my opinion, with Liverpool not being so good defensively, not having the best forwards at the moment, maybe Hugo Ekitike now is one to think of.
Really, right.
Because for him, it's not about how the team performs, it's all about him getting the goal. Now, you can't say the same thing for Salah, because Salah has not always come up now. So I'm wondering, can we still trust them?
So at least I know Isaac is back. Isaac is back. So what does that mean for Hugo Ekitike's minutes? And of which also Gakpo has been coming from the bench for the last 2 game weeks. But at least whenever he comes on, you see that there's something about
Give
him.
me three assets now. Think of in Liverpool.
We have Mohamed Salah, but you have to think about him.
African Cup. Yes. Of course, that one can be solved. They've got 5 transfers later on.
I think Wits is someone to look at with a close eye, because I feel he's going to start turning up.
Okay.
I feel like he's in that period, because he had 2
assists. Two assists for Germany.
Yes. Yeah. And he has shown us. I was watching a clip where Wits was actually, he has been performing, and of course it's going under the radar because there is a lot of pressure on him about his value, but you can see he's talented and he has that thing in him. And on top of that, maybe Szoboszlai is someone to look at. We have the likes of you can look at Gakpo. Hopefully his minutes get better, but I think those are people to look at and consider.
Okay.
Then Virgil van Dijk.
All right, then we move on to Man United. Man United has also got some good fixtures coming ahead.
Yeah, very, very
depending good. On, there wouldn't be fair fixtures last season, but this season, with the way they're performing, you could give them a benefit of doubt with Bryan Mbeumo, Matheus Cunha,
because they have Everton,
Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, they've got. You look at Everton last season; they played so well against Everton. They scored 4, I think. This season, do we expect the same against Everton, Wolves, and West Ham? Do you think they could actually because now like you said, it's not about the team performance now; it's about these assets
performing.
Yeah. Bryan Mbeumo has gone on to show us that he's going to always stand up. He's coming close every time, and then he can get that one chance. He can get a header like he did against Spurs. Scoring such kind of goals makes you feel like he's that one that you need to think about. But then what Bruno Fernandes is doing for Portugal, what he did even in the Spurs game, he had an assist.
He has returned
he has returned now. So for him, I think when you talked about Florian Wirtz, then the same thing for Cunha. The players that you've been seeing them coming, all the time, and there is Ahmad in there.
Yeah.
So is it time? Because the Man United assets now, for them, are not going to ask you which assets are those. But do you feel like they can actually get first over the line?
Yes, because in terms of fixture difficulty, Manchester United has one of the best fixtures to play. Like they have West Ham, they have Everton, and they have Wolves. Those are good fixtures to throw in there. So basically, if you have Mbeumo or Fernandes, but putting into consideration that Mbeumo is someone going in Africa Cup of Nations, so maybe you could have Mbeumo from this fixture, or at least latest next fixture, because remember, people are leaving for Africa Cup of Nations as soon as after game week 16, right? So that's the last time, because I think Africa Cup of Nations is starting around the 20th, 21st, 19th, maybe there. So you have to consider when are they playing
So
their games.
Away from that, I'll throw in a much trickier team now. Brentford is coming into games that are very, very open. They play against Wolves, Leeds, and Burnley. For me, those are very, very open games. Can we see Brentford in Iga, Thiago, their defenders, Kayode? Could they come out perform?
Dango Ouattara, yes.
So is it this time that they could actually perform?
Yes, those are also good differentials in your team to have, because for you to beat people in your mini league, you must have what they do not have. So when you have people like Dango Ouattara, and then you have,
I think now Iga Thiago is one.
Is not a differential, but he's someone to think of, because he's second after Haaland. So with 8 goals, so he's someone to think about.
This time, yes. Because we've actually given opportunity to trust certain assets that have not made the starts that he's had this season. You can see Isak just returning from
Sweden.
From Sweden. Now everyone is saying, returning from injury, everyone is saying maybe Isak could come on. Igor Ekitike has not performed to that level. Man United, some of Man United assets, Gyökeres, but they're being trusted. But now, away from Brentford, we've seen they could have chances.
But there's also Kevin Shad.
Yeah, Kevin Shad there. But now we want to. The big question now comes in. Arsenal now. It's the talking point, because the other time they lost Gyökeres. This time they've lost their best defender. This season, Gabriel has been, I think, the best defender. Now, what is it for this Arsenal backline? Are they still going to keep these clean sheets? People with because Arsenal as a team, they defend as a team. So for me, if they start having these injuries, you've had your best striker with all these technical abilities of how he plays, the link-up plays, how he plays up front there. Defensively, he even helps them when he comes back. Now you've lost that. You've lost that defender. How is this going to affect Arsenal? But we've seen their assets actually come up. We've seen Eze for the national team, Saka for the national team. Even before that, Saka performed. So is it the time now? Even Declan Rice did perform. So is it time now that much as they're so enticing, but is it the time to actually think about Arsenal as a team? That they might struggle with injuries, the connection of the new players that might bring in the Mascara.
It changes the whole thing.
It changes the whole thing. Much as they might be so defensive, but the fact that they might not attack as much as they might not possess that aerial threat that they've always had in set pieces, is it the time to maybe that they might face all this pressure that will come from concede to these teams that they will be facing ahead? Do you think this is the time maybe to start doubting them, or it's actually time to hold on to them? Because you've got Saka, he can score in the penalties, can get goals from he takes corners for them, he can actually get assists. Eze is playing so well because Odegaard has not returned yet. So for me, Alejandro Trossard, so I think, is it that time? Is it that time where you need to doubt, or because they don't have so many players going for the African Cup of Nations? So if you bring them in, or if you've had them and you're planning to hold on to them, but are you actually looking at the team are you looking at Arsenal as a team or the assets?
So Arsenal as a team, firstly, let's look at it as a team. It's not a team that's going to struggle to score goals, right? The question is now on their defensive. We are not questioning whether they will win nine times out of 10 they will probably win, right? So what we are now thinking is in terms of FPL, right? How do we, work out this thing after now one of our superstars in FPL has what? Has gotten an injury. It's some people are saying it's for 2 weeks, a week. We will see. But in terms of
how much impact has he got on FPL? Because this is like a Haaland type of defender. You get it? He's in the same caliber as a defender. Is the Haaland to them? Yeah,
so it might affect them. It might not. Like, because the person who is coming in has big boots to fill. Very good players they have.
But we've seen Mascara come on actually perform so well. But
but then
going to be the
question is, do you expect? Because Gabriel is a leader, right? Gabriel is a leader. He's vocal. He has been turning up with goals for them. So you must understand that he's not just a basic defender. Mosquera is a good defender. But what we are looking for is leadership. You get it? Actually, when they scored that equalizer, when Sunderland scored that equalizer, you see that Gabriel put his head there. You get it? So he's really ready to sacrifice a lot. So in terms for us of FPL, we need to start to think outside the box. Of course, Raya is the number one undisputed keeper right now. The likes of Dubravka and different other people, Nick Pope and all of that. But now, does that mean we can start looking at people like Fulham, where they have Anderson as a differential? That's I'm speaking to people who want to figure out how to milk different points from
I
different
think even
places.
Alexi Obi has been coming out.
Yes, now we are talking about the defensive. So because there's also Sessegnon, Ryan Sessegnon of Fulham, and we have Anderson, and like we told you, Coyote of Sunderland. So you need to start thinking. You need to. I mean, of Brentford. You need to start thinking of the different things, how to manage this, because we have 5 transfers that are coming because of AFCON. You have to think of this. Some of you have not yet touched your chips. You have your bench boost, you have your free hit, you have your wild card. So you need to start thinking in terms of this. Because wild card, you can, basically change your entire team for just one game week.
So if we are switching, I don't know, in my opinion, do you think it's now the time to switch from Arsenal defense to Man City defense? Because apparently Man City look like they have better game management. Do you think it's the right time? They've got a good goalkeeper right behind them. Is it the time to think of, much as not many goals come from them, but some assists we've seen come from Nico Riley? Is it the time to actually focus on Man City defense? The assets of India's. There's this boy that scored so many goals last season. That is the Josko Gavaggio, and then I think O'Reilly, Josko Gavaggio, Matthias Nunes. We saw him with an assist against Liverpool. Is it time to think about them now? Is it time to maybe switch? Bring in Donnarumma now. What do you think?
So basically, they have Leeds coming up. Actually, they have Newcastle, they have Leeds and Fulham. So the question is, are you going to bet your life on them not conceding? I don't know how possible that is.
That is very hard.
Basically, what we're looking for is, can we go and maybe get like Anderson? And maybe we mix it up with Senesi, because also Crystal Palace have good fixtures that are coming up here and there, right? So we have Senesi, we have Lacroix. Like, those are people to look into, because we are looking for stability. These game weeks from now to game week 20, how do we manage them? Because at least Arsenal defense has held us up from game week 1 until where we are now. But how can we manage them until January, where we get to understand, okay, where is FPL? And I believe this is going to be an uphill. You're going to see in the mini leagues, a lot is going to shift. Because people who have managed their teams well are the ones that are going to shoot up, because there's a lot here. We have 5, like we said, we have 5 free transfers. We have the wild card. Some people have not used them, the free hit. So how you use such things, the triple captain, knowing that in January we are getting new hits, new chips to play with our team. So you need to be able to think of those things ahead.
So as we come to the end of the show, just to give a brief of the players that we might lose to African Cup of Nations, I think most the mid-table teams like Everton, they will lose. Fulham, I won't say Man United is a mid-table team, but they're performing so well. Even Sunderland. So you enjoy them as it still lasts. So they will be in the eye. They will be Idrissa Gueye. So many players that are going to be lost. Mohamed Salah, Brian Mbeumo, Ahmad. So many assets are going to go. So you need to plan ahead. But we've told you ahead of African Cup of Nations, we're going to be having 5 transfers. And I think from what you've heard from us, this is the right time to take your chip of wild card if you haven't actually taken it. But that was it from us, me and Arnold. See you next time.